Good afternoon and welcome to Metro News on RayPower 100.5 FM Abuja. I am Idimachi Ikechukwu. Operatives of the Department of State Services and the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) have maintained a presence at the Maitama residence of the former Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami. The agencies had earlier stormed and sealed the property yesterday, shortly after a visit by former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. Sources say the operation is linked to ongoing investigations into alleged corruption and money laundering, with claims that arms were discovered at Malami's residence in Kebbi State during a recent search. At the Maitama residence, a security guard at the property alleged that operatives forcefully entered the premises, assaulted him, and confiscated his phone. Meanwhile, the EFCC is reported to have marked over 40 properties linked to the former AGF across Abuja, Kebbi, and Kano, valued at more than 200 billion naira under an interim forfeiture order. Malami has described the actions as political persecution and a violation of his rights. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has convened a meeting with leaders of political parties to deliberate on new electoral guidelines ahead of the 2027 general elections. The meeting, held at the Commission's headquarters in Abuja, brought together party chairmen, secretaries, and other key representatives. Among those in attendance are Nenadi Usman, representing the Labour Party, as well as Abdurrahman Mohammed and Samuel Anyanwu of the People's Democratic Party. The session is focused on unveiling and reviewing newly drafted guidelines that will govern the conduct of the 2027 elections. Direct primaries, insisting that political parties should retain the flexibility to determine their own candidate selection processes. He also criticized the requirement for submission of members' national identification numbers within a short time frame, warning it could disenfranchise many Nigerians. The IPAC chairman further called for the full restoration of electronic transmission of results through INEC's IREF portal to ensure transparency. In other news, a federal high court sitting in Kaduna State has adjourned proceedings on the bail application of former Governor Nasir El-Rufai to March 31, 2026. The decision followed today's hearing, during which legal arguments were presented by both the prosecution and the defense. At the court session, counsel to the defendant urged the courts to grant his client bail, citing constitutional rights and the need to allow the former governor adequate time to prepare his defense. However, the prosecution opposed the application, arguing that the charges against El-Rufai are serious and that granting bail could interfere with ongoing investigations. The former Kaduna State governor was arraigned by the ICPC over charges related to alleged corruption and abuse of office. The Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation is developing new frameworks aimed at enhancing accountability, transparency, and more effective service delivery. The head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Didi Walson-Jack, made this known during the first tranche of the 2026 Citizens and Stakeholders Engagement, designed to assess public perception of government services.
The polls that we took showed that the public, the citizens, and our stakeholders would like us to engage more with them by emails. It also showed that they are satisfied with our service delivery and that indeed they are happy with this engagement. And we'll review some of the issues that have been raised in this particular edition, and we hope that by the next edition, some of the issues would have been resolved.
The data was gathered through a comprehensive process covering all states of the Federation.
It was open to everybody. It was not locked to the people in the hall or people in the office. Even online, if you participated, you could see that we put the barcode so that wherever you are in the world, there are people that voted from all over. You can scan and join and vote. We're going to analyze the results, table them, and we will submit them to the head of service from there, we'll be directed on how to move forward.
The office also highlighted the rollout of its paperless system, which is expected to enable faster decision-making, improve access to information, strengthen transparency and accountability, while eliminating delays linked to manual processes and reducing the risk of misplaced records. The chairman of the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, Musa Aliu, has called on the media to play a more active role in combating money laundering and terrorist financing in Nigeria. He made the call at a media outreach in Abuja organized by the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit in collaboration with the Intergovernmental Action Group Against Money Laundering in West Africa. Aliu, whose remarks were delivered by his media aide, described the media as an indispensable partner in safeguarding Nigeria's economic integrity and democratic institutions. He warned that financial crimes continue to threaten national security, erode public trust, and hinder development. Also speaking, the Chief Executive Officer of the NFIU, Hafsat Bakari, stressed the shared responsibility between journalists and financial institutions in exposing illicit financial networks and promoting transparency. You're listening to Metro News on RayPower 100.5 FM. We'll bring you more stories after the break.
As the news drops, it breaks with us. Join us for news on the hour every hour. News desk at 12 noon, Metro News at 4 p.m. Enjoy infotainment, breaking and sports news at their best 24/7.
This is RayPower FM News.
Thanks for staying with us. The Kenyan government said 2 rivers have burst their banks, flooding farms and displacing families as the death toll in flooding in the East African nation this month rises to 88. The Interior Ministry said at least 20 and the 3-time African champions are scheduled to play Iran this Friday. Still on sports, Supporters Europe has filed a formal complaint against FIFA over excessive ticket prices at this year's World Cup. The FSC and FIFA has said FIFA has abused its monopoly position in setting prices for the tournament, which begins on June 11th. It also demanded greater transparency for fans when purchasing tickets, with at least 48-hour notice of availability in each category and where the seats will be.
RayPower weather.
This evening across the north central region, expect warm conditions with partly cloudy skies and low chances of isolated thunderstorms later tonight. Residents should take precautions during periods of reduced visibility. You've been listening to the Metro News on RayPower 100.5 FM. To end the news, here is our last line. In the words of Dwayne Johnson, an actor and professional wrestler, success isn't always about greatness. It's about consistency. Consistent hard work leads to success, and greatness will come. That's it for the Metro News. I am Idimachi Ikechukwu. You can now watch us online and also subscribe to our YouTube channel at RayPower 100.5 FM Abuja. And also join us at 6 p.m. as we bring you our next bulletin, Nigeria Today. Good evening.
Providing 360 degrees of information and entertainment. Reloaded.